What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video I'm going to try to help you make an informed decision of whether or not to buy the Oni Breaker. I bought this weapon myself yesterday and I tried it out in a number of different combinations. So in this video I'm going to show you 2 full matches and also a few clips from other battles. By the end I think you should have a pretty good idea of what this weapon brings to the table. But before we get into the PvP action, let's take a look at the weapon itself. First of all, it is an AoE melee attack, and it does an okay amount of damage. Unfortunately, it does have a 2-round cooldown, but you know what, I don't think that most of you are going to buy it for that attack. At least that's not the main reason I bought it. The best thing about this item, maybe besides that incredible armory bonus. Seriously, could you imagine facing someone with a full armory of that 9,966 defense bonus? That would really be sick. Then of course the stake thrower has that for the offensive bonus. But seriously, the most intriguing part about this weapon of course is the sacred buff. This says if at 100% health, all damage received is reduced by 75%. And if you're at 100% health at the beginning of a turn, you receive Exalted. Exalted will cause your agent to be immune to attrition and damage over time effects. Okay, so that's pretty promising, but you do have to be at 100% health before that Exalted procs. I will tell you there's a few tricks or wrinkles for this part, and I have to say it is a little bit odd. I'll show you what I mean as we get further into the video. But next, this weapon also has Ethereal Strike, then it has Hallowed, and also adds Melt Armor to all enemies. So those effects aren't bad and we're not complaining about them, but we're obviously mostly worried about Sacred and Exalted. So the only thing left to do is buy this item and then we'll go and try it out. Okay, so first off I want to show you a few items that I tried out with this weapon, and I had to bring them out of retirement. So as you can see I did try out the Empowered Bruiser armor quite a bit, and with it I used the Vengeful EISO. That's in part because we brought back the Protector of Attilan, which is a quick action that says takes reduced damage from enemy attacks. Also makes us immune to Cornered, Off Balance, and Pinpoint, and beneficial status effects will not be removed by enemy attacks or harmful status effects. Then for now, don't pay attention to the Guardian Insignia, but we will use that later in the video. However, the other item that goes with the Protector, of course, is the Guardian of Attilan. This is a Protect Mace that generates a shield when attacking, has high crit resistance, and counters melee attacks when the Protector of Attilan is active. This set used to be incredibly popular, and I think it still has a use maybe with the Oni Breaker. So in this first battle we are using those 2 items, but we're also using the Signpost. This is one of those wrinkles that I was talking about. The Signpost of course is known for gaining health back as a quick action, but it also causes poison on your agent. Now as you can see we have Exalted, but we didn't have poison, and on top of that we're not at full health. But hey, it was a big and fast proc, so we'll wait until our turn to show you some more. In the meantime we will use the Signpost to get back to full health. Then I'm going to use the Protector of Attilan, followed by the Oni Breaker. Now I do want to note this weapon isn't at full strength because we're using the Attilan items. Still, it can do a decent amount of damage, but more than likely it's not going to impress you. Maybe if we were fighting a team of vampires or demons it would. Then on Kang's turn we're going to use his Chrono Shield as a quick action. Then we'll follow it up with a Timestream Burst that's going to place obsolete tech on their entire team. Then Kang, being the absolute monster that he is going to obliterate the enemy agent. So, back to my agent's turn. You can see we didn't take any poison damage, and we do have Exalted. That means that the Signpost could and probably should show up somewhere in your setup with this weapon. Even Pestilence Beast won't matter if you have full health and you gain Exalted. Like it says, you are immune to damage over time effects. So that's why I wanted to show the Signpost first and make sure to clear that up, because my other setups aren't using this item. Like I said, I wanted to test a bunch of different things out with this weapon. By the way, if you didn't notice how incredibly difficult my agent is to injure in this battle, mainly because Kang took out the enemies too fast, well, I will have some highlights later in this video you'll want to take note of. But next up, I do want to show you a different setup that I tried with the Oni Breaker. This is going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy team up. This is the setup that I was using, and since I wanted to protect with my agent, I didn't use Groot. And also I wanted to try out some new AISO that I got, so I went ahead with Star-Lord and Rocket. Then of course we're using the Oni Breaker, the Synthetic Cube, the Guardian Insignia for survival training, because we wanted to try that out with the Oni Breaker as well. Then we're once again using the Guardian of Attilan. This weapon has high crit resistance, but you could also try the Fist of the Colossus. I tried that weapon out as well because it has immune to bleeding, burning, and chilled, and very high crit resistance. Another weapon that could be worth trying is the Techno-Organic Endoskeleton. It's especially amazing against psychic attackers. This weapon says you cannot be afflicted with bleeding or poison, and you're immune to psychic and bio attacks. I have to admit I did briefly try it out, and you may be interested to know I am working on an Invincible Agent video. So it's going to be a throwback to the Invincible thing. But right now, watch what kind of damage this enemy team does to us. It's actually crazy. Alright, and 21 gun salutes doing hardly any damage to anyone, but I guess it is doing even half of that to my agent. I guess we have to give survival training most of the credit here because Rocket and Star-Lord are taking very little damage as well. Honestly, this was pretty shocking to me, but I will tell you, it gave me an idea to bring out a very interesting item. There was an item that we were given a long time ago, and a few people did use it, but I believe it was more for the annoyance factor than anything else. The item that I'm referring to is the Biometric ID card. This item cannot be activated, and it heals you for a small amount of damage after you're hit. I for one thought it was worthless, but when you're taking this little bit of damage because of the Oni Breaker, then the Biometric ID will actually heal you back to full health. Being healed automatically allows you to be at 100% health once your turn rolls around. So I figured this could help you proc Exalted, and it may actually be worth trying out. I'll show you a little clip of that right after we finish this fight. Then of course there's other items and characters that can give you a heal over time effect, and we will definitely take a look at that when I make the Invincible Agent video later this week. But here is that ID card, and as you can see, it says automatically recover health and stamina after being hit, once each round. So anyways, we're going to jump into a match, and I'll show you part of what I was talking about. Hopefully it doesn't take too long for my agent to get a turn because I don't want this video to run too long. And I still have one more quick clip that I want to show. Alright, and it looks like the enemy agent's going to go second, so hopefully he does proc our Biometric ID card. And then our agent's going to go right after, so that should be the end of this clip. After Pestilence Beast uses his level 1 Heart of Darkness, which by the way we added bleeding to, so yeah, we tried out the Pulpy AISO on it. Then the enemy agent's going to use the Gravedigger Spade. That's perfect because we protect against melee, and we're going to see that automatic heal. So when the ID card comes out, it's going to heal us back for around 1000 HP. We only took a few hundred because of the Oni Breaker, so that easily heals us back to 100% and grants us Exalted. And just to let you know, I did try it out in several battles and it does a pretty decent job. However, it more than likely wouldn't be my first choice. So then moving on to one last clip that I want to show you. After putting a magnetic field on my team, that shield is going to hold out for a very long time on your agent. In this highlight, we're facing a fully powered enemy team and Hercules. You're very quickly going to see he is no joke. So we hit them with the Graviton Well, and we take a column down. This attack smashes Magneto and immediately busts through Cable's shield. Then you see another huge counterattack from Hercules. My agent on the other hand is still at full health and still has his shield. So let's go ahead and provoke Hercules a little bit more. And don't worry, it's all for test purposes, so I'm willing to sacrifice. And by the way, against a non-protector team, we do place obsolete tech with that level 2 on all enemies. That's because of the obsolescent augmented ISO 8. It goes on a tech move, and there are a few AoE tech attacks in the game. So those agent with a cube teams that also have someone like Rescue are really going to be hurting. But anyways, after taking another column down, we still have full health and Exalted, and now we're going to go ahead and attack Hercules straight up. So let's see what happens after a Guardian of Attilan. First, we know he's going to counterattack with a Pankration Pummel, and it still does 0 damage. Then on his turn after a Rock of Ages, he still does 0 damage, and then apparently we got a big and fast proc, so we go ahead and attack one more time. And after all this time, I will tell you, he finally breaks our shield, and he does 95 damage. So just look at how long that shield lasted with the Oni Breaker. That's really impressive, and you're going to see a lot more of that in our Invincible Agent video. As for this weapon, I hope you've seen enough to make a decision, especially if you were on the fence. I won't tell you that it's a must-have, but I do have to say it's a lot of fun to build around, and I'm going to try to come up with even more combinations. I'm still testing for my perfect setup, and once I get there I promise you I'll post a video. I know for one I want to do more testing with the Warriors 3, the Guardians, Rescue, and even a few more mystery characters. So I will let you know what I come up with, but as for now, on whether or not to buy this weapon, like I said, I don't think it's a must-have, but there are plenty of possibilities for it. Just take everything you've seen and heard in this video, and hopefully that helps you make a decision. If you're someone who's on the fence or has extra gold to spend, you don't need my permission, but go ahead and go for it. If you're someone who has saved gold and you're waiting for a game-changing weapon, well, this certainly won't be it attack-wise. But if you want to build a team around a very difficult to damage agent, well then this could be your start. Okay, so it feels like I could go on forever about this weapon, so I'll just leave you with, for me, it was a buy. Then lastly, I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope your decision was made easier. If you could, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck, and take care.